reorganizing, straightening up, see what, I've got. Because if you have shelves like me, you probably got things hidden that you don't know that you got because you're disorganized at times. You got too much like car products, things stuck on a shelf, you all. So, what would you do if money became worthless? The money that you have today, um, that you have, that you're counting on to get you by, um, your savings and things like that. Your retirement, what would you do if that money you were saving and in your 401ks, well, we know what happens when the stock market crashes. We do. People lose their money that they've got in 401ks because it's all investments. And what happens when, like, you work for a company all your life, you're drawing a pension, and that company goes bankrupt. And then all your pension, your money, poof, it's gone. And or your savings that you have in the bank, even though they say FDIC insured up to a certain amount, what happens when these banks go under? Really, when your money becomes worthless, like the cash that you have in your hand becomes worshipped. Well, it's kind of worshipped, you all. It is kind of worshipped. People do worship money, but what do you do when hyperinflation sets in? Because it's happened before throughout history. We've seen pictures of people with wheelbarrows full of cash to heat their homes because their money was worthless. And if you look at Zimbabwe, they had a change of currency so many times. It is hard to keep track of. It is like have $1 trillion and stuff like that. Could you imagine what you can purchase today? Like say you want to go and you buy, let's say if you bought a gallon of milk, and if you're paying $5 for that gallon of milk, what would happen if you go one day, maybe 3 months from now or something, and the milk is too expensive. It's like around $20, $30 for 1 gallon of milk, if you can get it. Or, yeah, your money's not buying more when you have to pay for gas, the price of gas. But hyperinflation, do you think it's possible in the United States? It's happened in other parts of the world also, but really, hyperinflation means your money ain't worth nothing. It really isn't. It has no purchasing power. It doesn't. So, strong arm insured to up to $75,000. Hello, you all from Germany and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So, money. They can say that it's insured up to a certain amount, but even a local bank and stuff, you've seen bank runs. You've seen images of bank runs. People standing in line, they want their money out of the bank, and the bank don't got enough money. They don't. You have that little armored truck that comes to the bank, gets the cash, and they drive away in their armored vehicle with, bulletproof and all of that. If everybody wanted to get their money out of the bank wouldn't have enough cash. It wouldn't. They would probably close their doors. It'd be a run on the bank. My hands are kind of dirty from messing with tools and stuff in this garage, but I was thinking about that. I was thinking then, if your money did become kind of worthless, it loses its purchasing power, which it does day by day. You can tell that your money don't go as far as it used to. And especially if you have a job, you have children, you have to pay for a babysitter, and you have to drive to work, and the gas prices are up through the roof. Or how about anybody's insurance rates on their vehicles? Has it raised? I heard that there were increases on car insurance and stuff because they got to cover the big companies got to cover the money that they lost, so they're raising people's rates. Um, they don't want the money. It's the energy, the golden egg, Lois. What if there really is a golden egg? A chicken that lays golden eggs and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's been raining nonstop here, but yeah. I was thinking about that, if you can't buy nothing, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you can't go to the store and find something to buy, also, then it looks like you're going to be tough out of luck. It looks like at that point, you would want to have something tangible on hand, something buy what you can with your money while you can, something maybe to barter with. You'd probably have to go to a barter society, bartering and stuff like that. But then, the long arm of the law can literally reach in. Also during those times, I think somewhere, what country is it? Sri Lanka. You're not allowed to buy gas. You can't purchase gasoline for your vehicles in Sri Lanka. Only the government and necessitary vehicles. Have you heard that? That you cannot buy gasoline in Sri Lanka if you're a citizen. Yeah, order of chaos. We are now going to experience now what they done in 1923. Then the beginning, yeah. So would that kill the ego and pride if we worked for free without bills, Son of the Most High? Well, I think it probably would. It kind of reminds me of this this Bible story of these people coming to work in the field. Okay, one came at a certain time of day. Then after him came another person at the certain time of day. And then at the last hour of the day, the master hired someone to come work in the field. And when the day was done, they went and each one got paid the same. And the ones who worked the longest, they weren't too happy at all. They wondered, why did you give this person? They've only worked a few hours and stuff, but he got the same amount of pay. There's so much talk about universal basic income. There really is. I know when we lived in Germany, in Berlin, if you were on government assistance, you had to, work in the streets, in the community is what they required. Yeah. They make it hard for the youth, so they will have no choice but join the military and become part of the machine. I've watched some recently, probably around a couple of weeks ago, some of the boot camps. When people go to boot camps in the military, it's they get and scream in your face and stuff, and they break you. They try to break you. And I think, oh my gosh, that is so horrific. Some people would not survive under that type of pressure. They wouldn't, because if you grow up in a house, a home where no one is screaming and hollering and berating you and stuff, and you join the military, and you go to boot camp, and boom, you're thrown headfirst into that type of an atmosphere, that'd traumatize a person. It really would. Not everybody's hardened like that. They're not. Now, we did have a good life in the military. I didn't go through no basic training or anything like that, but I'm sure it's a lot worse now that you have to go through in the basic trainings. And no, I don't really like that thought. I don't. Banks are down in Ontario. Wolfman Mike, that's interesting that you say that. That really is. Chinese important sky. Oh, angel wings, honey. Yeah, I never heard that. Love y'all too. But I was thinking that you all, if your money became worthless, because it is a possibility if they're going to revamp the financial systems, and it's headed that way. If you pay any attention to the alternative forms of money, and some may say, well, that's not going to happen. The grid's going to go down. It ain't going to stay down forever. It's not. If it goes down, it won't be forever. It will go down on purpose so that a new system can be put into place. It would. Yeah. Has Gina ever showed guns? No, I don't like guns. I really don't like guns. They're loud. They're very loud. Yeah. Seniors are not the best soldiers. Yeah, old seniors are not the best soldiers. But I guess if it got really desperate, they'd take every able-bodied man and woman and child. Remember on the Lord of the Rings, when they were coming against the last stronghold. I don't know where they had the people go to this other castle and stuff, and they were giving the children weapons and stuff. That's like, oh wow. You know, if you're not ready, you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing, and then boom, you're thrown right into it. Yeah, something like that. Hello there, Sage. You have some silver Iraqi dinars. Basic training is breaking individuals down to build up a team of soldiers. Been there 24 years. Yeah, oh, it'll really will build you up. And you got to be a team player. If not, your whole team's going to suffer. Yeah, and you don't want to be that one person that gets signaled out. You don't. It'd be very brutal. It would be. Yeah. A slingshot. People got slingshots. They do. I've had a slingshot before. How are you going to deal with the zombie hordes? I heard about the zombie hordes, and there's people who watch the zombie movies. I don't watch them. And they said the only way to kill the zombies is right there in the head. And believe it or not, some older adults know how to do that because they watch the zombies. I, I do not want to live in a world where that happens. I really do not. That would be horrific. But if they can do something, what is that entity that can take bodies? It's an interdimensional like entity. It can take on a body, and that body is now that body can get damaged really bad, and what would normally it would be useless to us. These dimensional beings, these other life forms, they'll still use that body. I think that's what would happen. Yeah, dinars won't be tradable. And people say, well, you just need to get your money into gold, get your money into silver. Who's going to buy it? Who's going to buy the gold and silver? If I needed something, say, or you needed something, say you needed a shovel, a garden shovel or something, some garden tools, and the only thing you had to give me was gold, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do with your gold? I can't use it to buy anything. I want something tangible. I want something that I can use. What can you trade me in exchange for that other than silver or gold? That's how I'm going to be, because you first would have to find somebody. What good is it going to do you? You got a pocket full of silver. You got a pocket full of gold. You got a pocket full of cash, and you have no place to live. Okay, you have no car to drive. You have no food, you have nothing. And yet those people who don't have the physical silver, the physical gold, the cash in their pocket, they got a roof over their head, food on their table, they got garden tools. And yeah, why? Because I guess they prepared. Now there are instances where people have lost their home. They have lost everything, you all. So I'm really not one into encouraging people, go buy silver, go buy gold. The government once confiscated the gold. It did. All of that. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of your voice. Either it holds authority or it is right firm tone. Angel wings, yeah. Yeah, your voice is powerful. It is. Goob show. You all, that's really true. Your cash, listen to this. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath. It's utterly worthless. Even if you were to go down into your underground bunkers, the wealthy, really, if there was like a day of wrath, if terrible, terrible times come, they be stuck down there in that bunker hole. And they wouldn't want to come out. They would be fearing for their lives. It'd be like they run into the mountains and say, fall on us, hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can bear it? They know, okay, during that period of time in the 24th chapter, oh, they know what's coming. The inhabitants of the earth. They know it's coming during that time. Yeah. Gold and silver trading, just like in the gold day rush, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't. You'd have to find somebody who had a use for the gold and a use for the silver. You really would. Um, yeah, the barter system is much better. Or we could just start helping each other. That's right, Christina. Yeah, there would be a lot of people who would agree with that statement. Yes, I think that's wonderful. But let's talk about this. When it come right down to it, if you had people who say, yes, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and it came down time to do it, and they for the first, I don't know, few days or so, they're helping out and all that, and then boom, they decide that's too much hard work, they're not going to do it, and then what do you do? What do you do with people who do not want to contribute in some way? They want to be a loafer. They want a free ride, okay? What do you do with people like that? Because there are people in this world, all over the world, they don't want to work for what they got. They want a free handout. They do. They expect a free handout. And they feel you owe it to them. Okay, it's just like when all the government assistance was coming out, the stimulus and stuff, it got the people used to it. It did. Some people who were wise, they used that money wisely. They did. Some people who were foolish, they blew it all. And then when it dried up, boom, they don't got it no more, and then it's harder on them. Yeah, so you're going to have people from all walks of life. You really are. So what do you do about that? I don't like to have my mind go there. I don't. I don't want my mind going there uh, to dwell on people want something for nothing. They want you to give them everything, and they don't want to work for it. They don't. They want you to do all the work while they sit back and take it easy. Of course, I wasn't taught that way. I have to work for everything I get. I do, and I do work for everything I get. That's not to say that I don't help people out. I do. And sometimes I help people out, and the help that I give, um, it's just, it becomes repetitive. And that becomes enabling because they won't help themselves. They won't try to better themselves. It's a difference when you have someone doing like that. Sage, honey, you can't be saying stuff like that on here. That's not very nice. No, it's not. Um, Thank you, Luke, honey. Yeah, you used see, that's wonderful. Used it to pay off your car. Some people used it in good ways like that. Some people just went out and went on vacations, went out to eat continually, and still didn't have nothing. Nothing. Blew it. I don't like to hear stories like that where people literally, well, there's a verse. What good is money in the hand of a fool, since he will not use it to gain wisdom or knowledge or any of it? Won't use it. It's in the here and now. Boom. Yeah. Y'all I gotta stand up. The setting on that milk crate making my back hurt. Yeah, it is. It's a little low to the ground. Hello, you all. Since you found out the Federal Reserve was all started and signed at the Bohemian Grove in the Rothschilds' home, wow. Parlor directly above. Oh my goodness gracious, effing crafts, yeah. Those who can't help themselves and those who can't, disturbing. Yeah, there are those who, they can't, some reason, if you have elderly people and people who are physically like disabled, or they have some type of a hindrance, but they want to help, that's different, because everybody can do something. They really can, according to, their physical ability and their mental ability. But to sit back and not want to do nothing because they don't feel like it or they're lazy, That's another story. Yeah, that would be like, oh my, you yeah, don't go there. Don't think about that. Don't. But really, what would you do if money became worthless and it didn't buy what you thought what it used to buy? And we're seeing that right now. It's not buying what it used to buy, and so if the um, blah, my goodness, I can't get my words out. If the oil went up to like 280 or 320 something, 380 a barrel, it would send the gas prices up. You all, by that time, we probably wouldn't have no gas at the pumps anyhow. We really, and really, like Sri Lanka, they're not allowed to buy no gas in Sri Lanka. So you're tough out of luck if you can't get gas and you're stuck at your house. You better prepare and try to make the best of it right now while you can. Get yourself ready. Now's the time to be putting into place those systems that you need. It really is. Get yourself ready. Get your systems set up. How are you going to do things? What are you going to need? Don't wait to the last minute if it came down to something like that, if you're able. Because a lot of people have probably a lot of supplies and stuff, a lot of things they want to get together, but yet they haven't done it. They haven't. They just have other things going on. But when it gets down to it, if you have all these things and you go to try to put it together and the grid's down or something like that, and you find out, oh no, I don't know how to put it together. Oh no, this thing doesn't work. Now what am I going to do? Oh, I need another part and I didn't realize it. What am I going to do? You're not going to do nothing. You're going to better try to go find somebody who has what you need if you can. The XRP and the XLM, I thought the XRP was under a lot of trouble with the SEC. Okay, that's what I thought. And the XLM, well, that's fairly cheap. It is. But the XRP, I think that's not, I don't think that'd be decentralized. I don't. I think that's like tied right in there because they got themselves in trouble. Favors, that's right. Chance favors the prepared. Yeah, it does. And barter, barter, barter. There's some people who may not like a bartering society, but, and they may not be used to it, but I think you'd get used to it really fast. There was a time, and there is a time. Even the Amish, they help one another. Somebody wants a house built. All the Amish around here, they all get together. They can have a house built in like 3 days. That's how good they are. They all work together. Down here at this granary, they had like the top of one of the grain silos. It was just the top, and it was setting down on the concrete slab. And we drove by there yesterday. There was all these vehicles parked out by there, and my daughter said, "What are they doing?" And they had all the people. They got underneath there, and they had jacks, and they all jacked up simultaneously that cap or whatever it is to that grain silo or whatever. Did whatever they had to do. You could see a nice, perfect space all around it. I don't know what they do because I really don't know what they do with those except dry out the corn and stuff like that. But yeah, that was pretty neat. They all came together right there. Those weren't Amish. They were farmers and stuff. But the Amish, yeah, they worked together too. Yeah, the ripple. That's right. So yeah, love the neighbor is a really good idea for everyone. It does. It takes life to live, not money. That's right. When it's all said and done, if your house is, if you're in a hurricane or a tornado's coming and you don't care about what's in the house. You want to get the people out. The people are the most valuable. Human life is the most valuable when it comes right down to it, because you can rebuild. You can rebuild, and it will be hard, but it's all right, you all, as long as you have each other. It wouldn't be nice rebuilding if you lost everybody, everything you loved. It would be very sad. It would. No cash needed, that's right. A lot of people are unaware of what has arrived, and a lot of people are going to be caught off guard. When we first moved here, we went to visit this place in French Lick, Indiana. It was a booming place back in the 20s or something, before the Great Depression, for the very wealthy. And I couldn't believe all the things they had, these outdoor bowling alley. They had it all inside, inlaid in gold, and these great big old, look like a mansion inside, all of this stuff. It was the place where the rich and famous went. And then the stock market crashed, and the guy told the story how when it crashed, the people jumping out of the windows and ending it right then and there because all of their money, everything, their life just went bye-bye, and they went bye-bye too. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't. And there are a lot of people who think, well, that will never happen. It's all this, you're just thinking it'll happen. You got to be positive because things are getting better. And there are a lot of people who may be enjoying their life right now, and that's okay. I would encourage you to enjoy it to your fullest. But what if, what all you're enjoying right now, what if one day it came to an end and your ways and means that you use to enjoy your life is now gone? And then you're on an even level, an even keel with everyone else. You're all in the same boat. Because I think our current president said that years ago, that they will level the playing field, okay, because they will have the new, the world order. He said, mark my words, it will happen. And I think it will happen. I really do. I think the playing fields are being leveled. And it ain't done yet. It's not done. You've got to have that, what, chaos? Something out of chaos. Yeah. You enjoy, Shannon, honey, I can't see what you're saying if you're saying something. Yeah, I'm not even going to go back and try to look at it. Order. Oh, chaos out of order. Yeah, you are. So, it's a scary thought for some because it's too much. They can't go there. And they can't help it. They just can't go there in their mind because fear overtakes them. They haven't been into the gloom and doom. That's why they can't handle it. They haven't been into the gloom and doom mindset. They've been in the happy-go-lucky mindset. It's all going to be all right. And yeah, nothing's going to happen. I shouldn't laugh, but really that's what it is. They don't want to be in that negative mindset, the gloom and doom. They don't even want to be aware of it because it's too much for them, you all. That's right. Yeah. T, honey, you know I ain't 80 years old. I'm not. If I turn 80 years old, I still want to look young. I really do. Margaret, honey, Baker. I said something about that. It was last year, and I got a severe backlash. I did. I didn't mention it no more. I didn't. We can hope for the best. We really can, no matter what happens. And we can be determined within here that we're going to survive no matter what happens because we're going to work together. We are, and we're going to become stronger working together because there's strength in numbers. There really is. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That blockchain technology is like quantum computing. That's what it is. Quantum computing, and it's going to get rid of a lot of jobs, more jobs than right now, than the machines, because that's what's going to happen. Super time, super transactions. Yeah, it's kind of like that Six Sigma stuff like that, but it's way more powerful. The Anunnaki mind, your gold, gold is used to coat the outside of the spaceships to withstand hyperspeed, and that's why gold is rare now. Rumble in Humboldt. I heard they came to the Earth to get the gold. Yeah. Yeah. So, communities with like-minded people, and they will be our soul tribes. Yeah. You ever see some of those movies where the zombies are out, and there's this woman, she's trying to fight the zombies, and somehow she makes it where her father is like the head of this community thing, and they're very well protected, and she ends up there or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I was born October 24th of 1966. Um, I'm Libra rising. Blockchain will become worthless, and it has been. Well, I hope you're right. What if you're not right? There's a lot of speculation out there. There really is, because if you have a blockchain, then you have identities, that unique identification. That's what's coming with it. Digital IDs with the blockchains. And how else could you be tracked if you didn't have a digital ID? Come on now, if you're going to get that mark, you got to have to get tracked with the digital ID. Everything about you is tied to that digital identification, whether centralized or decentralized. Yeah, they shut you off just like in the Matrix. They will just erase you. Boom. All of that. Your digital information is more valuable than your current real world whatever. It's like your information in the digital world is very valuable to a lot of companies. They sell your digital information. Boom. That's right, you all. Boom. Yeah, you'll be 70, Carmen, honey, and you feel like 40. It's because you're in an aging body, even though your spirit is young. That's why you still feel young. You're in this aging body. That's like me. I'm in this body that's aging, but my spirit's very young, even though I am an old soul. Kaboom. Yeah, that's right. Good morning. Yeah. Um, JP, quite very possible. It really is. That's right. They've been working on it for a long, long time, and they even got like you have the head of the Securities and Exchange. Now they got a crypto head for that digital market too, and they got their own U.S. dollar tether, things like that too. The CB centralized bank digital coins that attract trace. Yes, that's right, you all. They got it all going on. I guess hopefully you'll have a choice whether you do mainstream or whether you don't. It's all very confusing, and it really is very, very confusing. Buy herbs and grow herbs. Medical definition of ascending is wondering, the time had something to do with the bodily symptoms people are feeling. I heard that these medical books, you know how you had the medical books, that home remedies and stuff, these things are becoming harder and harder to find. Books like that, self-help physical books, they're like digital things. Let me see, we got it. People think negative, self-centered. This alone with them symbols is distorting their greed. Them greed is not need. Yeah, greed is not a need. It's not. It's just plain out greedy. And your wants are not a need. Your wants are nice to have, but you'll survive without them. 1717 Irish time. Yeah. Hello. If you're all just tuning in, if money became worthless, or yeah, what would you do if your money in your hand or your bank or your 401k that you're relying on so you can retire and stuff? What if it became worthless? What if it couldn't buy what it used to buy, or what it would have bought? What if hyperinflation, extreme hyperinflation kicked in? Like in some countries, I forget which country it is. Is it Denmark, where they took the farmers' land? They confiscated the farmers' land from the farmers. And now the farmers are saying, you know what, we've had it. We can't even make a living, and they're spraying manure on the buildings and everything the shutting down the whole entire thing. There's no food on the shelves, no nothing. Which country is that, you all? Because they did. They confiscated the land of the farmers. And they literally got their big old trucks of manure and they're spraying it all over the place. That's right. It's Holland. Thank you, everyman, Dan. Yeah, Holland. So I bet it really smells to walk downtown around those buildings. You all, oh, it probably will come here through too. They also, well, we've seen things like that before. It's so silly. These people were sitting in the middle of a field. They was trying to have their, I don't know what they were doing, and their big old farm truck came and it sprayed manure all over these people. It was kind of funny, but it's not funny because you can't get that stuff off of you. Your skin's it's gonna smell really bad. The color of lightning and thunder in the sky lately. Perhaps you have seen my skies outside are white, is what my skies are. Let me see. Let's look out here, you out this white skies. See them up here? Well, it's white and gray. It's been raining off and on all day long outside. That's what it's been doing out here. So I rarely get to see lightning. At times I see it on the news and stuff, if I watch it, or people share pictures of the lightning. Yeah. That's right. Thank you for the sky check. You're so very welcome, Dennis. Yeah, that's right, you are. We're going to prep and pray and make do with what we got. That's right. That's true. That's true. Some of Texas cannot irrigate next year. Wow. Do you think we'd be better off without no illusion of levels? Yeah. What if it can't cash out your 401k because they simply not letting anyone have their money? Well, then you're in trouble. They're already, I think, you got a lot of paperwork to file out. You pay taxes on it. And all of that. You can't get rid of the clouds in Washington either, Paula. Wow. The sun, yes, the sun was yellow. It was. That was a loud truck out there with a big motor. You haven't noticed the chemtrails. We haven't been having as much chemtrails either. Rain barrels and solar panels and plant your gardens. Yeah, rain barrels catch, get away, fly. Yeah. Preparation is the key. There is a fly that got in here. The sun is brighter. It's extremely bright, they say, because there's something behind it. There's something up there in the sky. And perhaps if there's something up there in the sky and something coming, get away, fly. Perhaps they're trying to bide their time. That fly just wants to fly around me. What am I going to do? It's going to keep flying. It's trying to tell me, Gina, get off the phone. You're done. Can you all see that fly flying around? We had gourds in here, and one of the gourds got like smushy on the bottom, and we smelled something. And too late, came flies also. Tape on lenses, leave home during errands. Alexa, never. My roommate, don't watch TV, no cable and stuff. Creation was made with love. Yeah. Crazy storms in Missouri today. I bet that lightning is all over the place. You all, really does. And you go to the lightning maps, it really does look like there is a battle going on up there. A massive battle in the skies above. And if plasma is lightning, it would make sense that you'd have plasma beams and stuff coming down from up there. Well, in the a certain time of the year, in this log cabin, and it's been like this ever since we've moved here. When we first moved in, the very first year, somehow the flies, before it was like fixed between the logs, the flies hibernated in the gaps of the logs, is what it did. And a lot of them did. And I remember it's like in around the month of October, all these flies are coming out, and you can see them all over the place. People have flies. And it's like the ladybugs when they come out too. When it gets really warm, they're flying all over the place. And termites, they have a time when they fly all over the place too. Zohar has helped to finish creation. Yeah, those lightning pictures are outrageous, you all. They absolutely are. I don't like that fly. You know, I got a fly tape that I've stuck up in the shed. I'm gonna get one and put it down here and try to catch that fly. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, you all. I don't know what they're doing up there, but I'm gonna go because this fly's getting it's buzzing around. There's like a old story. You remember this about this story, this little childhood story, a children's story about the fly and the great spirit, and the fly and the great spirit, or something wants the fly to do something, and the fly didn't want to do it. And the great spirit says, well, go ahead and be a fly, and the only thing you'll be able to say is buzz, buzz, buzz. It's some kind of a children's story, I guess, from long, long ago. Could even be a Native American story about a fly and the great spirit. Yeah. The water and the floods, yeah. You thought of this subject many times. Imagine if you can. Currency-based character. Hello there, Susan B. Honey. Yeah, love and light. All of that, you all. I'm gonna make a difference in this basement today because it's raining outside, and I thought even if it rains, I can take some of my garden shovels up to the shed in the rain, so I get them out of the way. Lots of flies. Maybe they're announcing something. Yeah. Remember that movie or the dance, The Lord of the Flies? The Lord of the Flies. I hope that there is not a Lord of the Flies that is coming, because I think that doesn't sound like a loving Lord of the Flies. Yeah. Grasshoppers and flies. Okay, it's on the side of my cell phone. Ha! Caught it in my hand, you all. Yeah, I did. Hope it didn't. I hope I caught it. Let me see. No, it got away. It got out of my hand. I thought I couldn't grasp my hand good enough. That's all right. I couldn't. I am going to go, you all. So thank you all so much for coming on here. Yeah, that's okay, T Honey. In the big scope of my life, that fly is this big, like right there. It's about like that. My hands are dirty because I've been messing with tools and rearranging automotive stuff on my shelves, so I can know what I got. So I'm going to go, you all. So that really is something to think about. What would you do if your money wasn't worth anything? You'd want to have something other than money because you got to survive. Yeah. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you all for your comments. Yeah. Thank you, Susan, honey. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night. You all. Love you.